Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
What you probably have heard for years, that meditation is so impactful, can change your life, give you clarity, just be a game changer. But many of us struggle with it. We think certain things, you have to be in a certain position, it's not easy for many of us. And maybe we are meditating and not even know that we're doing it. We're going to talk about meditation today and so much more. He is somebody that harnesses the power of meditation in all of his work as a pharmacist, master Reiki practitioner, intuitive reader. He does so much, including harness the power of energy. So I love his background. It's scientific background as a pharmacist, but then he also crosses over to the metaphysical side too. Dr. Dante Carroll is back with us. How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. How about you, Steve?
Real good, real good. And this whole meditation thing, how do you define meditation? And what exactly would you say it is? And why should we be doing it?
So for me, meditation is really just getting connected back into self, right? Really just having that quiet space, slowing everything down and just understanding my environment, like what's really going on, checking in with self. Like throughout this age, throughout this society, we're literally going, checking on this person, checking on that person. But it's just like when it's time to check on us, it's kind of like we forget about ourselves. And meditation brings everything back to self and really understand like what's going on in the world and really understanding who you are.
So essentially, it's being able to connect with your core, your inner self. Is meditation also, let's say somebody goes for a walk in nature, maybe walks in the woods or, walks in a little wooded area and they're just kind of clearing their mind. Would you say that is also a form of meditation?
Say it again, Steve.
If somebody, let's say they take a walk in the woods or just like a wooded path and they're just kind of just looking around, trying to clear their mind. Would you say that's the same thing as meditation?
Yeah, especially being in nature, like being in a walking on a path, it's kind of like you're getting that breath of, it's really getting connected to self, the elements, and really just understanding like nature, like being out of nature, especially like with the air, it's just like, what's going on? Just really getting connected back to self. And it's really helpful. It really is. Should
you set an intention before you meditate?
Always. And the intention should always be positive, right? We're always thinking, what is the worst possible outcome? Why can't you change the perspective? Say, hey, why can't I think about this positive outcome? It's kind of like changing your perspective. And meditation allows you to say, okay, it gets away of all of the negative energy in a sense and just looking at a positive perspective. Okay, what are my different options? What can I really look at things from like a higher perspective and like coming back to self and really getting those true answers?
So I've heard that both ways. Some say don't set an intention. Others say you need to have a focus. But then those who say that you don't set an intention, it just, whatever comes up is going to come up. So I'm kind of conflicted, but I ride more on setting the intention. I want to have a goal, like when I'm going to dig into it. Otherwise, why are we meditating? To quiet the chatter, the monkey chatter in your head. So if you don't have an intention, your mind's still going all over the place, I think, right?
Exactly, because it's more so like that intention, it really solidifies and put things into like a perspective for you. It's kind of like, hey, I have plan A, I'm focusing on plan A, but if you don't write it down or really have that intention, it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe I should get to it. Or you're kind of like going through this limbo or just like not really understanding, like, I need to focus on this. And really writing things down and having that perspective, it really draws you into what you're trying to accomplish.
So after a number of years of trying to do this, I've gotten to the point where sometimes I can just stare off to the side somewhere and feel like I'm transported for a couple of seconds if I want, and I can even make it go longer. So I think I'm meditating. And can I share something I did the other day that I think was meditation? So I'm at the gym and I just focused on a bolt on a machine, maybe 3 seconds. And I was doing extensions where you're on a bench and you're bending up and back down again, just working on your back. And this is going to sound weird, but after doing that, I opened my eyes up again. Again, it maybe took 6 seconds total, whatever. I felt like I was looking down on myself from above. as I was doing the reps. And I kind of crushed it at that moment. I had like so much more energy. It was almost who am I? It was the weirdest thing. I got transported someplace else and was almost like I was somebody else. Was that meditation?
Yes, it actually was meditation, Steve. It's kind of like you went into like this sort of translucent like state, or like this hypnosis state. It's kind of like you're focused on this object, and it's like you're so locked in. It's like your subconscious mind kind of took over because your awareness was heightened. And then when you're focused on a certain object, like you were in the gym, it kind of took you to a place of, hey, what am I focused on? I'm focusing on my core. I'm focusing on my breathing. It kind of literally locks you into like your surroundings and your awareness that you understanding what was going on. Like you were just present.
100%. And it was almost as if, sometimes a lot of us, we're working out at the gym. We're thinking, I'm never going to be able to do another rep, or, why am I here? And all this, looking at other people and, focusing. I felt like nothing was around. It was me floating above myself, looking down on me doing the reps, but I didn't even know that I was doing them. It was amazing. Actually, I got to try that again because it was very impactful. Ultimately, we are connecting with our inner self when we meditate, right? Why is that so important?
The reason why it's so important to get back to your inner self, because again, it allows you to find the answers that you're looking for. A lot of us go into meditation to find these answers. Do you ever find yourself when you're going into meditation, Steve, and you're like, you know what? I got it. That's what meditation is. It's just you getting connected to yourself, really that higher self and that really higher perspective, that little voice in your head to say, hey, do this. That's what it's connecting you back towards.
So okay, the little voice in your head, to me, that sounds like your intuition and your gut feeling. And so many times we ignore it, myself included. I could go back decades and realize, should have listened, but I didn't. I know I should have, but I didn't. Is that what we're ultimately trying to hear? That intuition, the answers?
Yes, because the thing is, it's literally guiding you to guiding to a sense of your higher self, right? We're all here having a sense of purpose. Why are we here? What is our connection to this earth? Purpose. And listening to that intuition, it guides you to the good abundance, or what are you trying to manifest, or what are you trying to look for from a situation from your perspective. Sometimes we don't listen to ourselves, and then we have that bad outcome, like, oh, I knew I should have went to the store at this time, or I knew I should have played that lottery ticket, right? It's just, you gotta listen to that perspective when it's calling you.
You meditate regularly on a daily basis, I would maybe think. Walk us through that journey. What do you do? What's actually going on? And give maybe an example. Maybe if you meditated earlier today or yesterday, how long it lasted. Take us right there.
Yeah. It's not a problem. So typically for me, I'm usually up by maybe 5:30 or 6 a.m. to really get that good positive energy to really focus on the day. How's my day is going to go? Just have productive, having good customer service, just really, having that good positive energy. For me, I practice Reiki. So what I'll do is that I'll pretty much channel the energy. I'll close my hands and put myself in a certain position. And once I put my hands in a certain position, energy is just drawn down, Steve. It's just like a waterfall of just golden rain, a sunshine, a good positive energy. Just imagine Starbucks espresso energy without the Starbucks just all over you. It kind of just wakes you up. And then it's just whatever I need to focus on, hey, what if I have a certain client that I might deal with in the morning? It might not be a difficult time, or if I need to pick up certain answers, or, just get some clarity on, certain perspective dealing with different clients that I'm dealing with in the future, it can pretty much have me focus on hey, this person is coming in with this, and that. We're going to have more of a positive outcome. And then, typically an hour or 2 hours for me, meditation is good, because 15 or 20 minutes isn't really a good perspective or a good time to really have that good meditation. So really for me, I'm shooting for that hour, 2 hour time. For me, once I get out of that meditation, it's like I'm coming from a vacation nap. I feel very good. I feel grounded, and I'm really connected back to self. When I don't meditate, it's my day is all chaotic. I feel this shakes, and it's just it's not good. I don't really feel anchored to towards the earth and towards myself. So I'm always meditating, and it just really helps me get throughout the day.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I envy you getting up early, and it's one of my commitments that I'm saying to myself that I need to start doing that. I really do,
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm not maximizing the early morning hours to really get things done and get the day moving.
Yeah.
Boy, you said you meditate for an hour or two.
Yeah.
Whoa. Maybe that's the game changer for all of us, because maybe in 20 minutes, 15, whatever, we're not even doing it long enough to really get into the zone. It sounds like that's what's going on. If you were to meditate for 15 minutes, you might not be feeling it. I think, I'm there, I'm getting some clarity, but after an hour, wow, talk about discipline. So what are you doing? Like, are you just like in a quiet space? Like, what's going on there?
It's, what's crazy? It's just like this. It's silence. It's just like you're connected to like the earth. You're connected to the universe, and it's just like you're just in this quiet space, and it just feels calming, and it's peace. It's just something you have to experience. I can't really explain it. It's just something you have to experience. And Reiki, and then having Reiki with meditation, it's just mind blowing.
Well, we talk about the intention. You set the intention to do an hour. I'm sure you've already blocked it out. You're going to do, at least an hour. Wow. I like maybe that's where it's going wrong again for all of us, that we're not. How do you not get antsy? Like when you're meditating, and I know that you've gotten to that point. How do you push out the, okay, now I got this thought, I got to take care of that later today. Well, I'm got to take the dog to the groomer, whatever it may be. How do you block that out for an hour?
Okay, so for me, like it always, like I said, it always goes back to the energy, goes back to Reiki. So for me, like before I meditate, I'll do like certain symbols on my hand. And let's just say if I'm having a headache, right, I'll pretty much will put my hands like this on my head, and I'll sit here for about 10 minutes. And then Steve, in about matter of maybe 10 or 15 minutes, it just dissipates. It goes away and it just evaporates. And then pretty much doing self-healing, you go down each, system, your arms, your shoulder, your stomach, and then you're getting all that negative energy off you. And then it just feels like you just went through like a waterfall. You just get everything out. And having that meditation, just sitting there for at least an hour, it allows you to hit every single like part, like the head, the stomach, the legs, etc. 15 minutes, you might only just to get to the head, and you might not be able to get to your legs, and you're wondering why, hey, you might still have that stagnant pain, etc.
You run deep, and I'm going to share this with you. I know deep inside me, and I'm a little deeper than the average person, just because my journey. I'm studying this. I'm doing the work. I know deep inside I should be doing that. Mm-hmm. I know it's going to work. I know it's going to be beneficial. I know it's going to make a difference. I don't even have a doubt. It's just carving the time out, and maybe that's what it is. 5:30 in the morning, you're waking up. It's quiet. There's not a lot of distractions because it's so early. Pretty soon, you're in the Northeast where I am. Essentially, it's going to be dark soon, early in the morning. Wow. Do you do it every day?
Every single day. If I don't do it, see, my day is just, I don't feel right. I don't feel anchored. It feels like I'm kind of on this seesaw waiting for something to happen. It just keeps me grounded. Like I feel positive. I feel like affirmed into like the ground. And like, my day is great. It's just positive experience. I do it every single day. Like I live by it.
Oh, I'm envious. What I shared that meditation moment, if you will, where I was at the gym, stared at something, and then got sort of transported. Do you remember maybe in the beginning where you first had that, whoa, okay, I did it. I'm here. This feels great. Do you remember some of those moments?
Yeah, like I remember when I first had my first Reiki session, and just sitting there like with the meditation, and actually Reiki introduced me to meditation, and just sitting there, just understanding what peace feels like. They go into like this peaceful state. I didn't know what that was. And then allowing meditation, just sitting there, I was like, oh, this feels magical. Oh, this feels very blissful. Like I didn't even know this existed, right? And it's just like having that just concept, just having the meditation every day just changes everything. It's a game changer.
Have you, during the day, let's say things present, maybe they're a little more stressful on a given day, will you take some time, close the door and just like, all right, I need to center again? Have you done that?
Yes. Like even just working with clients, sometimes you kind of pick up that anxiety, that rage sometimes, and we pick up on it. And then sometimes like, hey, this isn't me. What's going on? It's just like, hey, I need a second. And I'll go in for about 15 minutes, cut a little frequency sounds on, just sit there for about 10, 15 minutes, and boom, it goes away every single time.
Amazing. Okay. You mentioned Reiki and connecting it to meditation. Now, we don't have to do Reiki to meditate, right?
No, not at all. It's just like an add-on bonus.
Gotcha. What's going on there with the Reiki and the energy side of things connected to the meditation? You kind of hit it a few times, but I want to just put a little microscope on that.
Yeah. So Reiki has an influence on the chakra system, right? So when you're using Reiki, you're calling in the energy, and depending on where you want the energy to go, let's just say you're having leg pain or you're having, issues about finances, etc. That's connected to your root chakra, right? So as you're meditating, you're calling in that energy, you're allowing it to get there, and it gets away the energy off your legs. Like, hey, the pain goes away. I'm not as, having much anxiety or finances or anything that comes up. Let me think things through. Sometimes the anxiety or, rushing makes us to have decisions that we're not trying to do, very quickly. We got to take our times with things, and going into that meditative state allows us to slow down and say, okay, let me calm down. Let me think things through. And it's a positive experience.
What's your advice to somebody who's at the very starting stages of meditation?
Very starting stages is take your time. Go slow. Don't expect a lot. People have different expectations, right? Your experience might be different. Everybody is at their own single pace. It's not a race. And then just take your time and breathe. We forget to breathe. Please breathe during meditation.
Breathing is so important, isn't it? And you're right. Our society shallow breathes. If you look at Asian cultures, they're deep breathers all the time, where you may not even know it, and you might be flustered during your day. And if you take notice of it, you might realize that you're short breaths. I've done it before, where I've started to feel like lightheaded. I don't know what it is. I'm like dragging energy. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You're not really deeply breathing because you're doing so many different things. That's a game changer too. Just as important as meditation, the breathing thing, I would think. What do you think?
Yeah, because think about it. When you're breathing very fast, right? You're in this panic state. You don't know what's going on, and you can burn out, and some people might just pass out. When you're calm, I'm relaxed, I can think things through.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this, right? It makes it gives you a whole different perspective in your environment.
Amazing. What's the best way to connect with you? If somebody's trying to figure this all out, as I am, how do we find you? Whether it's energy work, Reiki, whether somebody is looking for advice on meditation, can you guide somebody through a meditation too?
Yeah, of course. You can definitely look at my website called the PharmD Healer, www.the as a pharmacist, PHARMD healer.com.
Again, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. For those who think, this is kind of woo, you're also on the other side, the medical side, the scientific side, which I think is just a beautiful blend of everything. Thank you for today. Thank you for the meditation inspiration. I am definitely going to intentionally spend more time doing it. But again, I guess that's part of the intention. Thank you for being here today, Dante.
Of course. Thank you. I
really appreciate it.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. and leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.